The Namibian opposition prepares to take Electoral Commission to court over irregularities. And we've seen quite a lot disturbing things that we've seen happening in the elections of Namibia. And of course, with the fingerprints of ZANU-PF all over, things that we were expecting are things that we have seen, that ZANU-PF could not be found, interacting with SWAPO for that long, and them even physically going there and having private meetings and things like that. And we don't expect to hear an outcry of some shenanigans of electoral rigging that we have always seen in Zimbabwe. And we've seen that happening, the busing of people, of voters by the police taking away some ballot papers and ballot boxes, and quite a lot of disturbing stuff, and the Electoral Commission refusing to address the concerns of the opposition party and things like that. So this has just become yet another chaos. So we are yet to hear what is going to be the total outcome, or especially of the SADC report, now that we have people like Ian Khama within it. We want to find out how much powerful Ian Khama can be, and of course those others that are with him that could be supporting the issue of transparency in elections. So because of that, we might also get a different report altogether, because we've seen this toothless SADC region just endorsing elections like what they've done in Zimbabwe always, and what we have seen them in that extraordinary meeting of Mnangagwa endorsing Uchapo of Mozambique as a winner. Yet fire is burning, people are dying in Mozambique. How can you be endorsing that election when actually the Electoral Commission in Mozambique really has not proven the figures that they have given? And that is said for SADC. Just because they are looking at their brotherhood, they forget the importance of transparency and democracy. And if they've lost the importance of keeping democracy, then they cease to be liberators, they cease to be Pan-Africanists, then they are not supposed to be leading African people. We want leaders in Africa that promote democracy, people in Africa to teach us to have democratic principles. Otherwise, this is one thing that has caused our countries not to be able to prosper and to be successful and also compete with the rest of the world, because we've got leaders who come into power for themselves. They want to make sure that they enrich themselves. They steal from the government, they steal from the coffers of the state, they steal the natural resources that are found in the nation. They use lawfare to oppress the people so they can continue to rule over them. And that is the unfortunate thing that we are seeing, especially with these liberation parties. And we are now believing God this time for a change in Namibia, a change in Mozambique, a change we've seen in Botswana already, changes all over Southern Africa. Then we can begin to have a different language, a different kind of politics. We have a different breed of politics that come in. Younger people who have different ideas, who can bring in and usher in some new ways of doing things. And maybe Southern Africa can begin to prosper again and to rise and compete with other regions. So this is very pathetic, really, what we have seen happening in Namibia. And it's disturbing also to note that while they want to go to court, there's still a problem of, Vanarita Makarau that are now sitting on the benches of the High Court and the Supreme Court in Namibia. Why are they there? The timing is very suspicious. Why, especially Zimbabweans, and why Namibia for that matter? So this is something that really Namibian people and politicians and leaders must be taking into account. Namibians, don't ignore the issue of Rita Makarau, a corrupt judge from Zimbabwe, who has been the leader of the Electoral Commission during the days of Mugabe, has rigged many elections, the same way that Priscilla Chigumba is rigging for Emerson Mnangagwa. So that woman is a cancer, is a danger, and they has been sent with her also. May you watch them and challenge their appointment in those positions of the bench, so that you can have a free judiciary. Otherwise, what SWAPO is up to with ZANU-PF is up to no good. And if you let this happen, you are going to be oppressed even big time, because the judicial system is going to be captured and you will never be able to win anything in court again. And Frelimo, the SWAPO might find themselves ruling through warfare, like through lawfare, rather, like what Emmerson Mnangagwa is doing in Zimbabwe. So that's it. That's what it is. So we've seen many videos of the opposition complaining about ZANU-PF, and of course, this is one of them.
Can the ECA officials and the police excuse us? We came here as per our agreement. You decided to stay behind closed doors, deploy the police on us. We have our own focus meeting. We will give wait for it. You can't, there's nothing you can do.
What belongs to us is not your
So it's really very, very embarrassing for ZANU-PF to be called thugs, by other fellow Africans, all because they want to continue to influence the results of elections in other countries. So Mnangagwa, what he's looking for, you will find it. What Mnangagwa is sparking, that fire Mnangagwa is sparking, is going to burn him. Watch my words. I am telling you, this is going to turn around and bite Mnangagwa big, big time. And I wish that he knew this and he would stop forthwith and not continue to be running in the direction that he is going. Many people are now beginning to be fed up with Emmerson Mnangagwa. And the truth of the matter is, Southern Africa is really now quite aware of his influence. And they are really planning and preparing that Mnangagwa must go. So he is creating more enemies than necessary in the rest of the countries, not only in Zimbabwe, but also in the rest of the other Southern African countries. We want new leaders in Zimbabwe. We want a new government in Zimbabwe. We want a government that does not embarrass citizens of Zimbabwe. They endanger citizens of Zimbabwe by their behavior. You can end up having Zimbabweans being attacked, especially in those countries where they are interfering in the processes of election and process of democracy. And this is unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. So we need to continue to stand and to put pressure on ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF must bite the dust. Mnangagwa must go, and our country needs to rest. We are tired as Zimbabwean people. We have had enough as Zimbabwean people. Enough is enough. It is time for the freedom of the Zimbabwean people. Otherwise, this is what it is, family. We continue to share with you what is happening around our nation as well as in the neighboring countries. Let's continue to pray for the nations. Let's pray for the peace. Let's pray for freedom of Zimbabwe. God is in it and freedom is coming.